Title: Major political upset in Greenland, Demokraatit Party achieves historic victory. Date: March 13, 2025. The recent parliamentary elections held in Greenland on March 11, 2025 yielded a significant political shift, marking a historic upset as the center-right Demokraatit Party surged from a mere 9% of the vote to approximately 30%. This election outcome has displaced the long-standing anti-American left parties, particularly the Inuit Ataqatigiit and Siumut, which had previously dominated the political landscape of the autonomous territory. The political dynamics within Greenland are evolving rapidly, especially against the backdrop of heightened U.S. interest, particularly from President Donald Trump, who has vocalized intentions regarding the strategic acquisition of Greenland. Demokraatit Party's victory. The Demokraatit Party, led by Jens-Frederik Nielsen, has positioned itself as a pro-business reformer advocating for pragmatic cooperation, especially with the United States. The party's victory is not merely a result of dissatisfaction with the incumbent parties but also reflects a broader desire among Greenlanders for effective governance focused on social issues like healthcare and education rather than solely on national identity or international relations. Nielsen's assertion that the election results send a clear message that Greenland is not for sale encapsulates the sentiment among voters who are wary of external pressures, particularly from the U.S. Shift in political power. The electoral results indicate a significant decline in the support for the incumbent parties, notably the Inuit Ataqatigiit and Siumut. Voter turnout was notably high, reflecting strong public engagement and interest in the electoral process. Prime Minister Jens-Frederik from the Inuit Ataqatigiit Party had called for early elections in a bid to unite the country during challenging times. But the results have highlighted a shift away from traditional party loyalties towards a preference for new leadership that prioritizes economic development and social welfare. U.S. interest in Greenland. President Trump has been explicit about the strategic importance of Greenland, citing its location and natural resources, including rare earth minerals vital for technology and renewable energy. His administration's commitment to investing billions into Greenland underlines the geopolitical stakes involved. Trump's remarks that the U.S. would acquire Greenland one way or the other have stirred controversy and contributed to the anti-American sentiment among some Greenlanders, complicating the political landscape. Debate on independence. An important backdrop to the election is the ongoing debate over Greenland's independence from Denmark. 4 of the 5 major parties in Greenland's parliament advocate for independence, though they diverge on the timeline and strategy for achieving it. While Demokraatit favors a more moderate gradual approach to independence, the second-place party Nationalism calls for a rapid departure from Danish governance. This divergence indicates a complex interplay between local aspirations for self-determination and the realities of international political pressures. Coalition building and future directions. In the wake of the election, Jens-Frederik Nielsen is tasked with forming a new coalition government, an endeavor that will require negotiations with other parties, particularly Nationalism, which also supports independence but with a more aggressive approach. The outcome of these coalition talks will significantly shape Greenland's future, particularly regarding its relationship with Denmark and the U.S. Conclusion. The recent elections in Greenland represent a pivotal moment in the territory's political evolution. With the rise of the Demokraatit Party, the focus is shifting towards business-friendly governance and pragmatic cooperation with international partners, particularly the U.S. However, the complexities surrounding independence and external geopolitical pressures add layers of challenge to this new political landscape. As Greenland navigates its path forward, the balance between asserting autonomy and managing international interests will be critical in defining its future. This election not only reshapes domestic political dynamics but also sets the stage for a potentially transformative period in Greenland's quest for independence and self-governance amidst growing global attention. The recent parliamentary elections in Greenland have resulted in a significant political upset, with the center-right Demokraatit Party achieving a surprising victory, jumping from 9% to approximately 30% of the vote. This shift in power displaces the historically dominant anti-American left, reflecting a notable transformation in the political landscape of the autonomous territory, which remains under Danish control. The elections, held on March 11, 2025, unfolded against a backdrop of heightened interest from the United States, particularly from President Donald Trump, who has expressed intentions concerning Greenland that align with strategic national security interests. Key points and counterintuitive insights. 1. Demokraatit's victory. The Demokraatit Party, led by Jens-Frederik Nielsen, has surprised many with its leap in electoral support. This victory not only signifies a rejection of the previous administration's anti-American stance but also illustrates a public desire for a business-friendly governance model. Nielsen's assertion that Greenland is not for sale directly counters Trump's comments about acquiring the island, highlighting a paradox where a party advocating for independence gained power while simultaneously rejecting U.S. overtures. 2. Independence debate. Despite 4 out of 5 major parties advocating for independence from Denmark, the debate surrounding the timing and approach to this independence remains contentious. The fact that a pro-business party is now leading the conversation around independence is counterintuitive, as one might expect that more radical pro-independence factions would dominate. Demokraatit's more gradual approach to independence contrasts sharply with the aggressive stance of the second-place Nationalism Party, which calls for immediate independence. This divergence reveals a nuanced political landscape in which the desire for autonomy coexists with economic pragmatism. 3. Electoral context. The elections were called by the incumbent Prime Minister Inuit Ataqatigiit of the Inuit Ataqatigiit Party, who emphasized the need for unity in challenging times. The unexpected voter turnout, with long lines at polling stations, suggests a robust engagement from the electorate, challenging the notion that Greenlanders are apathetic about their political future. The strong participation reflects a growing awareness and concern for social policies, such as healthcare and education, that transcend traditional nationalist rhetoric. 4. Shifts in political power. The results indicate a significant decline in support for incumbent parties like Inuit Ataqatigiit and Siumut, which had previously dominated Greenlandic politics. This shift suggests that voters are increasingly prioritizing social issues over the narratives of national identity or international relations. The counterintuitive aspect here is the realization that despite the external pressures from the U.S., local voters are more concerned about immediate social policies than the broader implications of independence. 5. U.S. interest in Greenland. Trump's administration has made its intentions regarding Greenland explicit, linking control of the island to national security and economic opportunity. The contrast between Trump's aggressive pursuit of Greenland and the local political response underscores a complex dynamic. The fact that a party rejecting U.S. influence has risen to power amidst such external pressure highlights a counterintuitive resilience in Greenland's political identity. While Trump's plans suggest a push towards integration with the U.S., the election results indicate a strong desire among Greenlanders to assert their autonomy. Conclusion. The recent elections in Greenland mark a pivotal moment in the territory's political evolution, emphasizing the complexities of asserting independence while navigating external geopolitical pressures. The rise of the Demokraatit Party reflects a significant shift in public sentiment, prioritizing economic pragmatism and social issues over nationalist agendas. This political upset is not only a rejection of the previous anti-American sentiment but also a nuanced assertion of Greenland's desire for self-determination in the face of global interest, particularly from the United States. The intricate interplay of local aspirations and international dynamics will shape Greenland's future as it seeks to define its identity and governance. The recent political upheaval in Greenland, marked by the unexpected victory of the center-right Demokraatit Party, has generated a flurry of discussion and analysis. However, several nuanced aspects of this event, which are often overlooked, hold significant implications for Greenland's future and its geopolitical standing. 1. Shift from anti-Americanism to pragmatic cooperation. One of the most notable changes is the Demokraatit Party's transition from a purely anti-American stance to a focus on pragmatic cooperation with the United States. This ideological shift is significant because it indicates a willingness to engage in dialogue with a superpower while still asserting Greenland's autonomy. The former leadership, notably the leftist parties, had firmly stated that Greenland is not for sale, reflecting a strong anti-colonial sentiment. The new leadership's approach suggests a potential recalibration of how Greenland positions itself on the global stage, particularly in regards to U.S. interests. Significance: this shift could pave the way for increased investment in infrastructure development, as the U.S. has expressed a desire to invest billions in Greenland. A cooperative stance may allow Greenland to leverage its resources and strategic location without fully compromising its sovereignty. 2. The independence debate. While the election results indicate a clear mandate for the Demokraatit Party, the broader context of independence from Denmark is crucial. 4 out of 5 major political parties in Greenland support independence, but their visions for achieving it differ significantly. The Demokraatit's more gradual approach contrasts with the aggressive push for immediate independence by the Nationalism Party. Understanding this debate is vital because it directly affects Greenland's relationship with Denmark and its future governance. Significance: the independence discourse is not merely a political talking point, it shapes the economic, cultural, and social fabric of the nation. How Greenland navigates this debate, especially amidst U.S. pressures, will influence its national identity and self-determination efforts. 3. Domestic policy versus international relations. The electoral upset also reflects a shift in voter priorities. The Demokraatit Party's rise suggests that many Greenlanders are increasingly concerned with domestic issues such as healthcare, education, and social policies rather than exclusively international relations or national identity. This reflects a broader trend where voters prioritize tangible benefits over abstract ideological battles. Significance: this focus on domestic policy could lead to significant changes in how the government allocates resources and addresses the needs of its citizens. It also indicates that international relations, particularly with the U.S., will be negotiated through the lens of these domestic priorities, potentially altering the dynamics of political power within Greenland. 4. External pressures and strategic interests. The backdrop of U.S. interest in Greenland, particularly under President Trump, cannot be understated. Trump's administration has been vocal about its strategic interest in Greenland, linking it to national security and economic opportunity. The notion that Greenland's resources and location are valuable assets in the context of U.S.-Russia relations adds a layer of complexity to the internal political landscape. Significance: the incoming Demokraatit leadership will have to navigate these external pressures carefully. Their ability to assert Greenland's interests while engaging with the U.S. could set a precedent for other small nations facing similar geopolitical pressures. This situation highlights the importance of strategic diplomacy in maintaining sovereignty while fostering beneficial international relationships. 5. Voter engagement and democratic processes. The recent elections saw significant voter turnout, reflective of a population eager to engage in the democratic process. Long lines at polling stations and a high level of public engagement indicate that Greenlanders are invested in their political future. The early call for elections by Prime Minister Inuit Ataqatigiit and the subsequent results suggest a desire for change among the electorate. Significance: high voter engagement is essential for the health of any democracy. This enthusiasm can help ensure that the new government remains accountable to its constituents and responsive to their needs. Moreover, it sets a positive example for future democratic practices in the region. Conclusion: The recent electoral upset in Greenland is not merely a change in political leadership, it signifies a potential transformation in how the territory navigates its identity, independence, and relationships with global powers. The overlooked aspects of pragmatic cooperation with the U.S., the nuanced independence debate. A shift in voter priorities towards domestic issues, external pressures from superpowers, and increased voter engagement are all critical components that will shape Greenland's future. Understanding these dynamics is essential for comprehending the broader implications of this political shift and its potential consequences for both Greenland and international relations in the North Atlantic. The recent elections in Greenland have produced a political upheaval marking a significant shift in the territory's governance and its relationship with both Denmark and the United States. The center-right Demokraatit Party under the leadership of Jens-Frederik Nielsen has surged from 9% to approximately 30% of the votes, effectively displacing the previously dominant anti-American leftist parties. Here are 4 key points for in-depth analysis and discussion. 1. Demokraatit's electoral victory and its implications. The Demokraatit Party's unexpected victory signifies a substantial shift in Greenland's political landscape. This change reflects a broader desire among the electorate for business-friendly governance and pragmatic international relations, particularly with the U.S. The election results, which showed a significant decline in support for incumbent parties such as Inuit Ataqatigiit and Siumut, highlight a growing public interest in policies that prioritize social issues like healthcare and education rather than solely focusing on national identity or international relations. This victory sends a clear message that the electorate is rejecting the isolationist stance of the previous administration, which was characterized by a blanket opposition to U.S. interests. The implications of this shift could lead to increased economic opportunities for Greenland and a more open dialogue with the U.S. regarding investments and strategic partnerships. 2. The independence debate and its complications. The political landscape in Greenland is further complicated by the ongoing debate over independence from Denmark. 4 of the 5 major political parties in Greenland advocate for independence, although they differ in their timelines and strategies. Demokraatit's stance focuses on a gradual approach to independence, while the second-place party Nationalism leans towards a more immediate separation from Denmark. This internal division suggests a complex political environment where the desire for autonomy is strong. Yet the methods to achieve it remain contentious. The outcome of this independence debate may significantly influence Greenland's future governance and its interactions with global powers like the U.S. As the new government formulates its strategy, it will have to navigate these competing visions for independence while also considering the economic implications of potential U.S. investments. 3. U.S. strategic interests in Greenland. U.S. President Donald Trump's explicit interest in Greenland and his suggestion that the U.S. would gain control of the island one way or another has placed unprecedented attention on Greenland's political situation. This interest is rooted in strategic considerations, as Greenland's geographical position and its natural resources are crucial for national security and economic opportunities, particularly regarding rare earth minerals. The new Demokraatit government will need to balance the allure of U.S. investments with the local sentiment that largely favors independence from Denmark and a preference for self-determination. This external pressure could complicate internal governance and the push for independence, as leaders must weigh the benefits of foreign investment against the risks of compromising their sovereignty. 4. Public sentiment and voter engagement. The substantial voter turnout during the March 11 elections indicates a heightened engagement among the Greenlandic populace regarding their political future. Long lines at polling stations and high levels of participation reflect a significant public interest in governance and the direction of the territory. This engagement is crucial as Greenland navigates its path towards independence and its relationship with external powers. The electorate's response to the Demokraatit Party's platform, which includes a focus on social policies alongside economic reforms, suggests that Greenlanders are increasingly prioritizing issues that directly impact their daily lives over nationalist sentiments alone. Understanding this dynamic is essential for any political party looking to maintain or gain support in future elections, as it underscores the importance of addressing immediate socio-economic concerns while also considering broader geopolitical implications. Conclusion. The recent electoral upset in Greenland encapsulates a pivotal moment in its political evolution. The rise of the Demokraatit Party represents a significant shift towards a more business-oriented and pragmatic governance style, diverging from previous isolationist policies. As Greenland grapples with the complexities of independence, U.S. interests, and public sentiment, it stands at a crossroads that could define its future trajectory and its role on the world stage. The interplay between internal political dynamics and external pressures will shape not only the governance of this unique territory but also its aspirations for autonomy and economic development. 1. The rise of the National Front in France 2014 to 2017. In the years leading up to the 2017 French presidential election, the National Front, now National Rally, experienced a significant surge in support similar to the political upset in Greenland. In the 2014 regional elections, the party won a record 27.7% of the vote, showcasing a dramatic rise from previous elections. This shift was driven by public discontent with traditional parties' economic stagnation and rising concerns over immigration and security. The party's leader Marine Le Pen capitalized on these sentiments to position the National Front as a viable alternative, ultimately leading to her reaching the second round of the presidential election in 2017. The electoral success of the National Front reflected a broader trend of populism and nationalism across Europe, paralleling the rise of the Demokraatit Party in Greenland as it sought to represent a shift in political ideology. 2. The Brexit referendum in the United Kingdom 2016. The Brexit referendum in June 2016 serves as another historical case of a major political upset, echoing the recent elections in Greenland. The unexpected victory of the Leave campaign, which advocated for the UK to exit the European Union, challenged the established political consensus. Polls leading up to the referendum suggested a slight majority for the Remain campaign, but the Leave campaign's focus on national sovereignty, immigration, and economic independence resonated with a significant segment of the British population. The outcome led to profound political and economic ramifications, including the resignation of Prime Minister David Cameron and a reconfiguration of the UK's relationship with Europe. Similar to Greenland's elections, the Brexit vote illustrated a shift in public sentiment towards independence and a desire to assert national control over economic and political affairs. 3. The election of Donald Trump in the United States 2016. Donald Trump's victory in the 2016 U.S. presidential election represents a dramatic political upset that parallels the recent events in Greenland. Trump, an outsider to the traditional political establishment, campaigned on themes of nationalism, economic reform, and skepticism towards established alliances. His win was unexpected by many analysts and pollsters who predicted a victory for Hillary Clinton. Trump's election led to significant shifts in U.S. policies, particularly concerning immigration, trade, and foreign relations. His administration's interest in Greenland is seen in recent developments, echoes the domestic political shifts that can occur when a populist figure rises to power, reshaping national discourse around issues of sovereignty and international relations. The electoral dynamics that propelled Trump into office resonate with the rise of the Demokraatit Party and its focus on independence and pragmatic governance. The recent political upheaval in Greenland, marked by the center-right Demokraatit Party's unexpected electoral victory, signals a transformative phase in the territory's governance and its relationship with both Denmark and the United States. As we look toward the future, several predictions emerge regarding Greenland's political landscape, economic prospects, and international relations. Political landscape. 1. Strengthening of pro-independence movements. With 4 of 5 major parties advocating for independence from Denmark, the debate surrounding Greenland's future autonomy is set to intensify. The Demokraatit Party's victory alongside Nalarak's significant support suggests that the push for independence will gain momentum. Expect increased discussions on a timeline for independence, with moderate voices advocating for a gradual approach to ensure economic stability. 2. Coalition dynamics. The formation of a coalition government will be crucial. Jens-Frederik Nielsen, as the leader of the Demokraatit Party, will likely seek alliances with other parties to create a stable government. The dynamics within this coalition will shape Greenland's political direction, particularly regarding independence negotiations and economic policies. 3. Impact of U.S. interests. The new government will have to navigate the complexities of U.S. interest in Greenland, especially under President Trump's administration. As the U.S. positions itself as a significant player in the Arctic, Greenland's leadership may face pressure to align with American strategic goals, potentially complicating the independence discourse. Economic prospects. 4. Investment opportunities following the election. A focus on business-friendly reforms is expected to attract foreign investment, particularly from the U.S. Trump's proposed billions in investments could lead to significant economic development in sectors such as mining and renewable energy. This influx could bolster Greenland's economy and provide the necessary resources for a sustainable path toward independence. 5. Resource management. As Greenland sits atop vast mineral resources, including rare earth elements, the government's approach to resource management will be pivotal. A pro-business stance could facilitate exploitation of these resources, yet the ecological impact and local community interests will need careful consideration. The balance between economic growth and environmental sustainability will be a key challenge. International relations. 6. Geopolitical tensions. Greenland's strategic location in the North Atlantic will continue to attract international attention, particularly from the US and Russia, as climate change opens new shipping routes and access to resources. Expect heightened geopolitical tensions. Greenland may find itself at the center of a new Cold War-like scenario, requiring adept diplomatic maneuvers to maintain sovereignty while managing external pressures. 7. Negotiations with Denmark and the U.S. The future governance of Greenland will likely involve complex negotiations with Denmark regarding the transition to independence and with the U.S. concerning military and economic partnerships. As Greenland asserts its autonomy, it will need to define its position within the global order, balancing relations with both powers. Social dynamics. 8. Public sentiment and identity. The recent electoral shift reflects a changing public sentiment focused on social issues such as healthcare and education, rather than solely on national identity. The new government will need to address these domestic concerns while fostering a national identity that resonates with Greenlanders. Expect discussions around what it means to be Greenlandic in a globalized world to deepen. 9. Cultural renaissance. A focus on independence may lead to a cultural renaissance with increased support for the preservation and promotion of Greenlandic culture and language. As the territory moves towards self-governance, there may be a renewed emphasis on cultural pride and identity, which could play a crucial role in unifying the population. Conclusion. The political upset in Greenland represents a pivotal moment in the territory's trajectory toward independence and self-determination. The Demokraatit Party's rise to power, coupled with the complexities of international relations and economic opportunities, will shape the future landscape. As Greenland navigates its newfound political reality, the balance between assertive independence, economic growth, and ecological sustainability will be crucial. The next few years will be instrumental in defining Greenland's path, forging a unique identity while contending with the interests of powerful global players.